It's Valentine's Day, and local businesses around Kent are celebrating with limited time menu offers.
These little ones are all set to celebrate Valentine's Day. This story and more as Kent Stater TV at 6 starts right now.
Love is in the air at
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Friday evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. Thank you for joining Kent Stater TV News at 6 o'clock. I'm Joe Malbin.
And I'm Evan Schofield.
Now, Evan, it's Valentine's Day. It's a big holiday for couples across the world.
That's right, Joe, and people are celebrating more now than ever.
As you know, I'm a sucker for food during the holiday season.
Yeah, me too, Joe. In fact, I went out this week to see which restaurants in Kent offered certain offers and scenery for Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day in Portage County, and local businesses are in the mood for love. Various restaurants in downtown Kent are changing up their menus to get into the holiday spirit.
I really love our February menu right now. Every one of our specials is named after like a different love song. Yeah, and we all have like different like custom drinks and everything.
And we also have a really good chocolate frizz. It is a spiked hazelnut coffee. It's really good.
The Stupid Cuban Mimosa, made from pineapple raspberry, is also a Valentine's Day special over Easy at the Depot's offering. But drinks aren't just what local businesses are making festive. Tree City Coffee also serves food that is made with local female love.
And we also have a whole bunch of pastries that we get from local women-owned businesses.
If you're worried about money, fear not. Some locally owned businesses located in downtown Kent offer student discounts in a flash using your Flash ID.
We have the buy one, get one for Valentine's Day, but also on Fridays with the valid KSU student ID card, you get 15% off.
If you forgot to schedule a reservation, that's okay, because these businesses welcome couples during all hours.
We're typically not as busy during the day, so it's just a walk in and be seated situation, but a lot of people do make reservations just in case, because you never know what the day holds.
For KSTV News, I'm Evan Schofield.
Wow. Well, Evan, I never knew how much Kent local businesses accommodate Kent students.
Yeah, Joe, it's pretty interesting, and I'd recommend anyone to go to these places during the holidays.
Well, today is Valentine's Day, and for newborns in Nebraska, they are celebrating in style. The babies in the NICU are dressed in heart-shaped outfits. The March of Dimes NICU Family Support Program assisted with nurses creating the clothes. The pictures you are seeing on your screen are displayed on the Nebraska Medicine website.
And love is in the air, or should I say in the world. Today, a couple that met in Kabul, Afghanistan will legally be married after 4 roller coaster-like years together. 61-year-old Robert Jenkins of Summit County met 28-year-old Yelda Kasemi while managing security projects for Garda World based in Canada. After family hardships with the Taliban, Kasemi can finally settle down with her soon-to-be husband.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Happy Valentine's Day, Portage County. I'm Joseph Martin, and instead of roses, I'm bringing you the weather for today and tomorrow. So today, currently in Kent, it is 25 degrees, and guess what? It feels just like 25 degrees, and it's also a little bit cloudy outside. If you don't believe me, you can walk outside and look up. And for the hourly forecast, of course, 6 p.m., that's what time it is right now. And at 9 p.m., it is going to be skyrocketing to 26 degrees. And then at 12 a.m., it's still going to be about the same, but the precipitation is going to be a little bit higher at 3%. And tomorrow we get a 90% chance of precipitation. It's going to be about 39 degrees. In the morning it will be a little bit rainy and a little bit snowy, but 39 degrees plus 90% chance of precipitation equals rain. And that's all for tonight and tomorrow's weather. I'm Joseph Martin. Be sure to stay tuned for the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Joseph. Well, Valentine's Day is certainly a cause for celebration, but there's more good news to celebrate. The sunsets keep getting later and later, and today the sun will be going down at a late 6 p.m. This season, Cleveland experienced its earliest sunset on December 7th at 4:46 p.m. And on March 9th, as clocks spring forward, be ready as the sun will go down at 7:28 p.m.
And the Ravenna Area Chamber of Commerce is bringing back an old tradition. The Ravenna On Display program is back for the first time since COVID-19 started. The event, occurring from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., will take place in Ravenna High School. If you're thinking about registering, doing so will get you a free booth if you're a member. If not, you can participate for $50.
Applications are being accepted for the program MedCamp, which will be held on the NeoMed campus in Rootstown. NeoMed is hosting the program to help students build interest in basic sciences and medicine. Participants in the program will do the activities alongside physicians as well as students and faculty graduating high school. Seniors in 2025 are encouraged to apply.
We all know Jim Tressel. He's a known football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes and president at Youngstown State University. Tressel was sworn in this past week as the Lieutenant Governor of Ohio with Governor Mike DeWine in attendance. Tressel's political skills were never open to the public, but DeWine says he trusts his judgment and called him a born leader. DeWine is unable to run for a third term.
A school shooting was thwarted in Indiana. Hear about the suspect being charged and what they're charged with.
We know you work hard, so come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. We've been serving the community for 3 generations. Only a quick 10-minute drive from Kent State's campus. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
Many Olympians have launched their careers at Kent State University. In track and field, veteran coach Nathan Fanger has propelled 2 star athletes to the Summer Games. Following in their powerful footsteps is Olympic hopeful Gabby Bailey. Gabby's high school coach knew Kent State would be a perfect home for the Jamaican star after seeing the success of one of his former athletes, Olympian Danielle Thomas Dodd.
Kent is a good place to grow because the environment here is unmatched compared to other schools. It's not just a good place for athletes, it's a good place for everybody. Everybody feels supported here.
Coach Fanger helps Gabby grow athletically and academically.
We want to go win conference championships and we want to see people's success outside of track and field, but to get there, you've got to be able to be supportive through the whole process, right? I'm there essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else. And it's just a feeling of being welcome all the time.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. 2 people have been shot at the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade. 2 women showed up at the medic tent with gunshots in their legs. It's unclear what led up to the shooting. The women are in stable condition. This comes a year after a shooting at the Chiefs Victory Parade last year took the life of 1 person.
And an 18-year-old student in Indiana is facing charges for attempting to commit a school shooting. Trans male Trinity Shockley is charged with conspiracy to commit murder and other terrorism charges. According to police, they have been grieving the loss of their mother and had been bullied for getting hit by a drunk driver. Police also say Shockley had grown obsessed with school shooter Nicholas Cruz. Authorities were tipped off before anything had happened.
It's been 7 years since the Parkland school massacre took place. Across the schools in Broward County, it's a day of remembrance for 14 students and 3 staff members who were killed in the incident. In honor of these lives, all students and staff participate in service projects. Many families of the students and faculty killed say they must, quote, rise above this and portray love, peace, and kindness. Well, now, Evan, we turn to international news.
That's right, Joe, and our correspondent Alex Minch has the latest. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, everybody, and that's right. The world of politics is seeing lots of rapid changes, so let's get right into it. Just last night, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum threatened to sue Google for its decision to update its maps to reflect President Trump's decision to rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. The Mexican president argued that Google is wrong for renaming the entire body of water because Trump's executive order only applies to the U.S. continental shelf. With talks of President Trump's administration imposing steel tariffs, Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva warns that there will be retaliation if he follows through with them. Trump's plan would impose a new 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports into the U.S. without exemptions. The tariffs are set to take effect on March 12th, but the Brazilian president warned that Brazil would react commercially. The Trump administration is also calling for more pink slips to be handed out. Just yesterday, agencies were instructed to continue with layoffs for federal government probationary workers. This applies to more than 200,000 employees across the country, with the most recent cuts taking place at the Department of Energy and Veterans Affairs. Earlier this week, terminations were also announced at the Department of Education, the Small Business Administration, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. New information suggests that the Kremlin is assembling a high-level negotiating team to engage in direct talks with the United States to end the war in Ukraine. While members of the Kremlin team have not been publicly announced, CNN has learned it will include top-level political intelligence and economic figures, including the Russian official who played a key role in a recent U.S. prisoner release deal. This past Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with President Trump regarding the ongoing war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian president said they had a good conversation and covered some good details. However, it wasn't enough to form a solid plan. While he doesn't think the U.S. has a current plan to end the war, he says he's always ready to talk negotiations. That's all the time I have for your politics news today. For KSTV, I'm Alex Minch, and we now turn to Joseph, who has the latest in weather.
You informed and ahead of the storm. This is your KSTV weather.
Thanks, Alex. I'm coming back at you with the weekly weather predictions. Hopefully you're bundled up because it's going to be another cold one. So starting off here in Akron-Canton, it's going to be around 26 degrees, and then we go down to Columbus, 30 degrees, Toledo. It is a little bit colder. You're getting some of that lake effect. And Cincinnati, it will be a little bit hotter. And Pittsburgh, nice 30 degrees. So if you want to warm up a little bit, you can go to Pittsburgh, or you can go to Athens, where it is 33 degrees. And zooming in a little bit closer, let's start where we are right here. It's Kent at 24 degrees, and then Sandusky, Cleveland, Ashtabula is a little bit hotter at 24 degrees as well. Akron, Worcester, Mansfield, and Youngstown are also a little bit warmer than Kent, so these are where you're going to want to migrate to if you want to get 1 degree warmer. And for the extended forecast of the week, our chance of precipitation today is 66%. And then on Saturday, it's going to be a little bit higher at that 90 degrees, like I mentioned before. And Sunday, it will be rainy again. We're looking at a lot of rain here, so make sure that you got your umbrellas. And now on Monday, it's going to be a little bit lower, 24 degrees, or 24%, and it's also going to be a little bit colder. So if it does rain or precipitate here, then it's probably going to be snow. And next day, Tuesday, 14 degrees. It just keeps getting colder and colder. But there are good warm temperatures in the future on Wednesday, and it's starting to get a little bit sunny then. And then Thursday, 41 degrees, or 41% chance at 19 degrees. I wish it was 41 degrees. That would be great. But that's all that I have for this week's weather. I'm Joseph Martin, and have a great Valentine's Day, Portage County.
Thanks, Joseph. Well, it's a scene right out of the Bible. The incredible moment a father was kayaking with his son in the icy waters of Chile's southernmost Patagonia region, when out of the blue, the 24-year-old son gets swallowed by a humpback whale. Luckily for the son, the whale realized it was not a carnivore and resurfaced to spit the man out. According to the son, he thought he was going to die if not for his life vest.
And in one garbage heap of the world, a hard drive contains about $800 billion in Bitcoin, according to James Howells. Howells accidentally threw this drive away in 2013, and now he's trying to recover it. After his case didn't go to trial by trying to search the landfill, he now attempts to do it himself. The cost of digging up the landfill would run into many problems, says the Newport City Council. Further, excavation is not possible.
And the remains of an ancient basilica were found recently in London. The remains were discovered as work was done to redevelop an office block in London's financial district. Archaeologists discovered walls made of flint, Roman tile, and ragstone in the basement of the block. The ancient basilica is estimated to be roughly 2,000 years old and the size of a soccer field.
And new news out of the Vatican Health Hospital in Rome. Pope Francis has been admitted after signs of bronchitis rumored to be in his system. The Pope, who is a significant symbol for Rome, went in for tests and treatment options available so he can return to his normal health. Nevertheless, he's still holding his weekly meetings, but it was asked for his aides to read out speeches for him due to his lung capacity. Treatment will continue in the next few days.
Golden Flashes are gearing up for a big weekend in sports. I've got the details in your KSTV Sports Report.
The collaboration between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifact from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
Kent State University's Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
My name is Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. Part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. My name is Sophia Sonato, and I've got your roundup of sports for the weekend, so let's jump in. The men's basketball team is gearing up to face off against Ohio University tonight at 7 p.m. This match at home comes after the Golden Flashes took down Central Michigan on Tuesday night. The projected starting five includes hard hitters like Jalen Sullinger, Vaughn Cameron Davis, and Sion Medley. All three of these players have been on fire this season, with Davis having 53 double-digit games, Sullinger hitting his 50th three-pointer on Tuesday, and Medley leading in assists with 7. You can tune in on CBS Sports Network and the Kent State Radio Network. The women's basketball team is back in conference play with their match against Miami tomorrow at 1 p.m. for their annual Play for K game. This game will benefit the K Yao Cancer Fund, which provides financial support to the fight against all types of cancer that affects women. The Golden Flashes are 52-48 all-time against Miami and haven't faced off against the Red Hawks at home since February of 2022. Defense is key for this Miami team as they are preparing to face off against an explosive Kent State offense. Our very own Matt Corrali will be teaming up with Jackie Winden to call the action on ESPN+. Heading off the court, the Golden Flashes gymnastics team is taking a trip to New Jersey to participate in a tri-meet with Rutgers and Michigan for their first non-conference outing since January 16th. The Golden Flashes currently boast a 3-0 MAC record and sit at 6-0 on the season. The Flashes are entering interesting territory with this meet, as they have varying results with Rutgers, and are coming off a defeat against Michigan in last season's Ann Arbor NCAA Regional. Certainly a meet to look out for. Speaking of meets to look out for, let's just look right outside our windows, as the Kent State track and field teams are celebrating 50 years of the program this weekend at the Doug Raymond Invitational. Events are already underway as Angela Carter tied for 4th in women's high jump at 1.55 meters, and Noelle Fry is currently in 8th place in women's weight throwing. The men's weight throw event also proved successful for the Golden Flashes, as Donovan Crawford finished in 2nd and Jeremiah Newsom finished in 5th. Spectators can expect the bulk of events to take place tomorrow starting at 11 in the Kent State Fieldhouse. And that's a wrap for me. For more sports coverage, you can tune into Overtime, which airs at 7 p.m. right here at KSTV. From the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Sophia Sonato. Good night.
The rise of cruise ships and the increase in their popularity. Hear about one how TV show changed the cruise industry for the better.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
At Kent State University, we want all students to develop a global perspective. And with more than 200 study abroad programs in 60 countries, there are many opportunities. One is found in the Central African country of Rwanda, where students connect with survivors of the 1994 genocide.
We're learning about the reconciliation process. Rwanda sort of took a very community-based approach to how they recovered.
In January, a group of Kent State student athletes traveled to Rwanda, where they organized a soccer camp for children.
While we were there, we got to work with kids and spread our knowledge about sports.
And we brought shoes, cleats, soccer balls for everybody.
It was a transformational experience.
The people of Rwanda were full of joy. They were also full of excitement and life.
I think the big thing that I'm going to take home personally from the experience is perspective. There's not just one way to do things.
This was unlike any other academic experience I've ever had.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Well, welcome back. A Kent favorite is coming back tonight in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it means something bigger.
That's right, show. That's right. We have Matt Corrali with us in the studio for more on queer love representation and what it means for the LGBTQ+ community.
Hi guys, yeah, that's right, good evening. It's one of the things that makes the city of Kent so unique. It's a monthly showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show with live actors accompanying the film at the Kent stage, as that will be happening tonight. But it's something larger for members of the LGBTQ+ community. It's queer love representation, seeing other versions of themselves in movies, TV shows, and books. I had the chance to speak with members of the community here in Ohio and what it means to them both personally and as a whole. Take a look. Love is in the air at Kent State University, and one way it's being shown is by queer love representation.
There's more and more representations in the media, so you're able to see people who love like you do, who look like you do. But for so many folks who are in areas where they're not able to access real examples of queer love, it's really difficult to figure out who you are as a queer person until you see other people who are like you.
The university offers a course on this very subject.
The character that people know from that show is Archie Bunker, this like crabby old guy. But like that show had trans representation in the 1970s when such a thing was completely unheard of. So I would call that super groundbreaking.
Schneck brings that representation to his role in a unique way as the editor of the Buckeye Flame, the only LGBTQ+ newsroom in Ohio.
We actually just added a vertical to our site in 2025, a whole new category just solely for queer joy that's on the same level as policy and legislation and politics and health and wellness, to keep us accountable, to make sure that we are doing as much to focus on queer joy as we are on some of the laws in Ohio.
KSTV reached out to members of the show for comment, but they did not respond back to our request. The show starts at midnight with the doors opening at 11. Tickets are $10 at the door or $7 if you show up in either a Rocky Horror or Valentine's Day costume. Reporting from the Franklin Hall studio, Matt Caroli, KSTV News.
Well, in keeping with the spirit of Valentine's Day, the hit TV series Love Boat, the reason that the popularity of cruise ships is on the rise. In 1970, roughly 500,000 people rode cruise ships each year. By 1997, that number increased drastically to 5 million due to the popularity of the show. You can now spend your Valentine's Day watching Love Boat as it is streaming on Paramount+. Wow, that is something. Evan, have you ever seen Love Boat?
Joe, I gotta say, I've never seen it.
Never seen it?
In my life.
I have never seen it either, unfortunately, but that is all the time we have for today.
For more, go to KSTV on all websites and check us out.
I'm Joe Melvin.
And I'm Evan Schofield. Have a great night, Portage County.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away, I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it. Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.